Turn to Walt Disney's Wet and 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 One. Ryan.
If you keep going like this, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? You will go beyond your subconscious psychic tolerance. You'll have too much energy. You'll blow your circuits. Too much energy. Too much energy. Too much energy. Too much energy. What do you think will happen? People are commodities. People are commodities. And I asked them, well, what do you think will happen? Too much energy. You'll blow your circuits.
We now into our story. Walt Disney's Wet and Wild. We now into our story. We now into our story. Our story continues. 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 We now into our story. Our story continues.
If you keep going like this, what do you think will happen? If you keep going like this, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? You will go beyond your subconscious psychic tolerance. You'll have too much energy. You'll blow your circuits. If you keep going like this, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? You will go beyond your subconscious psychic tolerance. You'll have too much energy. You'll blow your circuits. Too much energy. Too much energy. What do you think will happen? If you keep going like this, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? You will go beyond your subconscious psychic tolerance. You'll have too much energy. You'll blow your circuits. Too much energy. Too much energy. Too much energy. Too much energy. What do you think will happen? People are commodities. People are commodities. And I asked them, well, what do you think will happen? Too much energy. You'll blow your circuits. What do you think will happen?
Reactions of fear and hysteria and reactions of fear and hysteria and reactions of fear and hysteria and
reflected sunlight, reflected sunlight,
fear and hysteria
reflected sunlight.
reactions of fear and hysteria
It's reactions of fear and hysteria. It's reactions of fear and hysteria.
reactions of fear and hysteria
Reflected sunlight, reflected sunlight.
of fear and hysteria
It's reactions of fear and hysteria. It's reactions of fear.
So
7-Up, regular diet, and cheer. Iron Man, Mark Allen, Kellogg's program, Iron Man food.
USA. But this sagebrush yodeler's knack for sliding into trouble won't put him on anybody's hit parade. So have a doggone good time with the Nashville Coyote on the wonderful world of Disney.
Sunday at 6 on Fox, Channel 11.
Grasshoppers. Grasshoppers. They floated down in multitudes out of hot skies. Wind, drought, nothing. The Great Plains from Dakota to Texas were no place for small farms. Yet the homesteaders came. They staked out their government claims, $10 for 160 acres, and found nothing with which to build homes. Or cut 18-inch sod bricks out of the earth. Cows wandered on the roof, crashed into the house. You burned buffalo chips for prairie coal, and your mortgage was owned by an Eastern man.
City, USA. But this sagebrush yodeler's knack for sliding into trouble won't put him on anybody's hit parade. So have a doggone good time. So have a doggone good time.
Reached success which best discuss how tension
Looks easy. Pam's makes life a little bit simpler.
from your
Music City, USA.
control
Music City, USA.
the power of your
Music City, USA. Music City, USA. Music City, USA.
desirable
Music City,
sensory
USA.
success
Music City,
best
USA.
illustrate the
Music
concept
City, USA. Music City, USA. Music City,
of the
USA.
largest computer manufacturers in California.
Astau with tomato sauce and gut. Astau with tomato sauce and gut. Astau with tomato sauce and
Before
gut.
he goes to bed,
Astau with tomato sauce and gut.
he sits down
Astau with
in an
tomato
armchair
sauce and gut.
and turns on
Astau
a
with tomato
tape
sauce and
of
gut.
soft
Astau with
classical
tomato
music
sauce
set
and
to a
gut.
large
It
gives
fast relief,
50 beats per minute.
It gives fast relief,
Let his mind drift.
It gives fast relief,
First, he sits
gives
down
fast
in an
relief,
armchair and turns
It
on
gives fast
a
relief,
recording tape.
About pleasures.
Soft classical music set to a large
pleasures.
of about 60 beats per
About
minute.
pleasures.
Then he lets his mind drift
About
and
pleasures.
fantasizes.
Feeling.
He goes
Pleasures.
to bed,
Feeling.
has a nice sleep. In
Feeling.
the morning, when he takes his daily shower, new ideas and solutions to problems come pouring into his mind with great intensity. In order to take full he was in a hurry, rushing to leave home for an important presentation. He could not find his car keys. The harder he searched, the more frustrated he became, and the later he became. Finally, in a state of near desperation, he started screaming at his wife and children, accusing them of In order to take advantage of this rapid-fire flow of creativity, he has installed in his shower a waterproof slate with a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. The second man per minute. Then he lets his mind drift and fantasize to the music man. Then he goes to bed, has a relaxing night's sleep. Then, in the morning, when he takes his daily shower, new ideas and solutions to problems come pouring into his mind with great intensity. In order to take full was in a hurry, rushing to leave home for an Largo rushing to leave about 60 beats per minute. Largo rhythm of about 6 Largo rhythm of about 6. Then he lets his mind drift about 6. First, he sits.
You have to know the field they're in, and you have to have what it takes to master those.
Which best illustrate the
Because you
concept.
can't get the job
Which
of
best
tomorrow
illustrate this.
until you get the skill.
Which best
Until you get the
illustrate
skill.
this.
Until you get the skill. 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 Until you get the skill.
One of the largest computer manufacturers in California has developed a process or a ritual for creative thinking, which he goes through every night before he goes to bed. First, he sits down in an armchair and turns on a pre-recorded tape of soft classical music set to a Largo rhythm of about 60 beats per minute. Then he lets his mind drift and first, he sits down in an armchair and turns on a pre-recorded tape of soft classical music set to a Largo rhythm of about 60 beats per minute. Then he lets his mind drift and fantasize to the music, 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 and fantasize. He goes to bed. It's a relaxing night. He goes to bed. And fantasize. He goes to bed. Fantasize. He goes to bed. Fantasize. He goes to bed. Then in the morning, when he takes his daily shower, new ideas and solutions to problems. 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 New ideas and solutions to desirable sensory-enriched success or which best illustrate the concept. One of the largest computer manufacturers in California has developed a process or a ritual for creative thinking, which he goes through every night. Goes through every night. Goes through every night. Goes through every night. To input and have access to vivid, sensory-rich images of achievement. In this cassette, we'll discuss.
mortgage was owned by an Eastern man. Oh, pioneers.
Set it free. As the rock party. 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 As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them?
As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them?
As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them?
As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them?
As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them?
As the rock party.
You ever work on one of them? You ever work on one of them?
No.
Work on one of them?
You?
You ever work on one of them?
No.
You ever work on one of them? You ever work on one of them? You ever work on one of them? You ever work on
And some people aren't too happy about it. The dependable excel.
on one of them? You ever work 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 on one of them?
Music City, USA. But this sagebrush yodel. But this sagebrush yodel. But this sagebrush yodel. But this sagebrush yodel. Music City, USA. 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 Sagebrush yodel. Music City, USA.
Channel 11.
Music City, USA. Music City, USA. Music City, USA.
Ate all of Italy.
Past.
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 Then he lets his
Ate
mind
all
drift.
of Italy.
Past.
Ate all of Italy.
He sits down in an armchair.
Ate all of Italy.
Turns on a pre-recorded tape
all
of
of
soft
Italy.
classical music set to a
all of
largo
Italy.
rhythm of about 60 beats per
All of
minute.
Italy.
Then he lets his mind drift
all of
and
Italy.
fantasize to the music.
Ate all of
Then
Italy.
he goes to bed, has a relaxing night's sleep. Then in the morning, when he takes his daily shower, new ideas and solutions to 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 problems come pouring into his mind with great intensity. In order to take full he was in a hurry, rushing to leave home for an important presentation. He could not find his car keys. The harder he searched, the more frustrated he became, and the later he became. Finally, in a state of near desperation, he started screaming at his wife and children, accusing them of upper right eye shift. Construct a mental picture. In order to take full advantage of this rapid-fire flow of creativity, he has installed in his shower a waterproof slate. A waterproof slate. A waterproof slate. A waterproof slate. With a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. With a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. With a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. With a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. With a waterproof pen to record. Finally, in a state of near desperation, to record the flow of ideas, he started. He could not find his car keys. To record the flow of ideas. He was in a hurry. Record the flow of ideas. Problems come pouring into his mind with great intensity. 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 Mind
With great intensity.
Now, slowly inhale a long stream of this yellow, mist-filled, oxygen-rich air from your body, freeing you to control, concentrate, and direct. The power of your mind, 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 your mind. Desirable sensory-enriched success which best illustrate the concept. Manufacturers in California has developed a process more original and more creative thinking, which he goes through every night before he goes to bed. First, he sits down in an armchair and turns on a pre-recorded tape of soft classical music set to a largo rhythm of about 60 beats per minute. Then he lets his mind drift and flow. First, he sits down in an armchair and turns on a pre-recorded tape of soft classical music, soft classical music, classical music, about 60 beats per minute, soft classical music. Then he lets his mind drift soft and classical music, classical music, soft and he goes to bed, soft classical relaxing night sleep, classical music, soft. Then in the morning, soft when he takes his soft classical music, soft classical music, soft classical music, soft classical music, new ideas and solutions to problems, soft classical music, soft mind with great intensity, soft classical. In order to take full classical music, soft classical music, soft classical music, rushing to solve for an important presentation, soft not find his car, soft classical. The harder he searched, the more frustrated he became, soft. The later he became, finally in a state of near desperation, he started screaming at his wife and children, abusing them. In order to take full advantage of this rapid-fire flow of creativity, he has installed in his shower a waterproof slate with a waterproof pen to record the flow of ideas. 5. The second man, a salesman for a multinational chemical firm, recently told of a personal and somewhat humorous experience I'm sure that you can relate to. He recalled that one morning, when he was in a hurry, rushing to leave home for an important presentation, he could not find his car keys. The harder he searched, the more frustrated he became, and the later he became. Finally, in a state of near desperation, he started screaming at his wife and children, accusing them of having misplaced the keys. He yelled, "I always put the keys on the key rack, so someone else must have lost them. They just didn't get up and walk away." Well, lucky for him, he had a wise and understanding wife. She told him to sit down, take a deep breath to clear out his mind. Then she said he would probably remember where he had placed his keys. Following her advice, after a minute or so, he remembered where his keys were. They were in his hands. Answer. The answer was something you knew, but were unable to recall at the moment you needed to know. The more you pressed yourself to remember, the deeper the answer seemed to bury itself into the crevices of your memory. The more you pressed yourself to remember, the deeper the answer seemed to bury itself into the crevices of your memory. The more you pressed yourself to remember, the deeper the answer seemed to bury itself into the crevices of your memory. And as soon as you walked out of the testing room, the answer popped crystal clear into your mind. Strange
Strange. 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 It's happening, but certainly true. Research has the answer to these
Fascinating and sometimes disturbing phenomena that we experience. Research has the answer to these fascinating and sometimes disturbing. Rich has the answer to these fascinating. Rich has the answer to these fascinating. Rich has the answer to these fascinating. Rich has the answer. And sometimes disturbing phenomena. 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 And sometimes disturbing phenomena we experience from time to time. Disturbing phenomena we experience from time to time. Disturbing phenomena we experience from time to time. The answer lies in the adequate supply of oxygen-rich blood to the brain. Supply of oxygen-rich blood to creative imaging. The answer lies in the adequate supply of oxygen-rich blood to the brain. To enhance creative imaging and crystal clear thinking, the brain needs oxygen-rich blood in which to blood to the brain. To enhance creative imaging, the answer popped crystal clear into your mind. Strange happening, but certainly true. Research has the answer to these fascinating and sometimes disturbing phenomena that we experience from time to time. The answer lies in the adequate supply of oxygen-rich blood to the brain. To enhance creative imaging and crystal clear thinking, the brain needs oxygen-rich blood in which to bathe its nerve cells and tissues. Oxygen-rich blood fine-tunes the electrochemical interactions in the brain, allowing for laser 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 interactions in the brain, allowing enriched laser interactions in the brain, allowing for laser interactions about how the brain becomes deprived laser vital oxygen, allowing for laser interactions in the brain, allowing the life laser interactions in the brain, laser-like allowing for laser interactions in the brain, allowing for laser interactions in the brain, the psychological term laser interactions in the brain, allowing for 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 laser interactions in the brain. Your first reaction, of course, laser interactions in the brain. You would have allowing for laser interactions in the brain. You would allowing for laser interactions in the brain. Allowing choices laser interactions. One, to either fight the bear. Choices laser interactions. One, to either fight the bear. Or two, if you're smart. Fight the bear. Or two, if you're smart. Fight the bear. Or two, if you're smart. Or two, if you're smart. To run. Or two, if you're smart. To run. The body automatically prepares you for this too. The body automatically prepares you for this too. The body automatically prepares you for this fight. 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 The body automatically prepares you for this fight.
Head, arms, and legs to the heart and stomach area. Arms and legs to the heart and stomach area. Arms and legs.
Fuel your instinctive response. Fuel your instinctive response.
The blood vessels in your
arms, hands, legs.
The blood vessels in your
arms, hands, legs.
The blood vessels in your arms,
hands, legs.
The blood vessels in your arms,
hands, legs.
The blood vessels in your arms,
hands, and head constrict.
Making sure that all available blood and up. Making sure that all available blood and up. Making sure that all available blood and up. Making sure that all available blood and up.
Allowing for laser-like sensory enriched imaging. Laser-like sensory enriched.
Now let's talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Now let's talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Talk about how the brain becomes deprived of this vital oxygen. Talk about how the life force for pure laser-like vision. 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 The life force for pure. You may have heard the psychological term fight-flight response. Laser-like vision. To explain the meaning of this term, laser-like. Imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, laser-like encountered a big, mean grizzly bear. Laser-like. Your first reaction, of course, would be fear. You would have two choices. One, to either fight the bear, or two, if you're smart, to run. The body automatically prepares you for this fight-flight situation by diverting all available blood from the head and arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms for laser-like sensory-enriched imaging. Arms and legs. All available blood from the head and arms and legs. Its nerve cells and tissues. 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 Oxygen-rich blood fine-tunes the electrochemical interactions in the brain, allowing for laser like Now let's talk about how the brain is deprived of this vital oxygen, the life force, or pure You may have heard the psychological term fight-flight response. To explain the meaning of this
term. Imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were hiking on a mountain trail, imagine that while you were meeting a grizzly bear. Your first reaction, of course, would be fear. You would have two choices. One, to either fight the choices. One, to react to choices. One, to react to choices. One, to react to choices.
Signal frequencies to enhance the system's first sea trot. 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 kid's sake.
If you're smart enough to run.
Look at that.
What?
That. It's another one of them Hyundai XLs.
For health's sake. For kids' sake. Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting the foods they need to?
Grow up big and strong.
Foods they need to. Are your kids getting the foods they need to? Are your kids getting next foods they need to? Are your kids
non-fat, not low-fat?
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 Are your kids
non-fat, not low-fat? Non-fat,
so
non-fat, so
Flip has no propulsion,
non-fat,
so it must be towed out to sea.
when non-fat, so when non-fat.
Back in the days before anyone ever heard of good nutrition, people ate whatever they could get their hands on. Even today, some people don't know the first thing about what their family should be eating. What about you? Are your kids getting the foods they need to grow up big and strong? Next time you go shopping, next time you go shopping, time you go shopping, you go shopping, time 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 you go shopping, 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 you go shopping.
Oh, not really.
Adventures in Babysitting, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you. Check your local newspaper.
Bad. Good. All your life you've been taught if something tastes good, it has to be bad for you. Continental yogurt tastes great, and it's good for you. Great, and it's good for you. Because Continental yogurt great, and it's
PG-13.
great, and it's good for you.
Daylight machine.
Good for you. Great, and it's
Buckingham and his team
for you.
have designed
A double pleasure from double income. A double great feeling, making you realize double is the one for you. Double fresh,
And it's for you.
double smooth, double delicious to chew. Delicious to chew. Delicious to chew.
The only thing worse than daytime hot hard worse than daytime hot hard worse than daytime hard nighttime hot. Fortunately, there was Gaviscon, especially formulated so it not only gives fast relief during the day, it even works at night when you're lying down. Gaviscon Orgasm, it even works lying down.
A double pleasure is waiting for you. A double pleasure from double income. A double pleasure from daytime. 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 A double pleasure that's waiting for you. A double pleasure that's waiting for you. A double pleasure that's waiting for you. A double pleasure
It even works lying down. It even works lying down.
a double pleasure.
Lying
A double pleasure.
lying
A double pleasure.
Antacid, it even works lying down.
A double pleasure's waiting for you.
and reflects them onto an reflects them onto an reflects them onto an reflects them onto
A double pleasure's waiting for you. A double pleasure from double income.